Would you be interested if I could break down emotions into a logical process? Hermione Granger accused Ron of having an emotional range of a teaspoon. Yes, I'm a Harry Potter nerd. Men are often accused of being emotionally out of touch. What if I told you that likely you were never taught about the emotions and about your emotions in a man-friendly way? Well, on this episode of the Fallible Man Podcast, we're going to do exactly that. So let's go.
Here's the million-dollar question. How do men like us reach our full potential and grow into the men we dream of being while taking care of our responsibilities, working, being good husbands, fathers, and still take care of ourselves? That's the question, and this podcast will help you with those answers. My name is Brent, and welcome to the Fallible Man Podcast.
Welcome to the Fallible Man Podcast, your home for all things man, husband, and father. Big shout out to Fallible Nation and a warm welcome to our first-time listeners. My name is Brent, and I am the Fallible Man. My daughters were taught about their emotions in preschool, and of course, as parents, we tried to help them understand and clear things up for them as they're dealing with it. They're young, and those first emotions are a little hard to deal with sometimes. But it occurred to me that the way that little boys are taught about emotions doesn't align with the way their minds actually sort things out, just in the difference of the way that men and women think about things. Likewise, as men, we're told to show or share our emotions, to get in touch with them. Men need to understand things if they're going to process them, show them, share them, right? It's the way our brains work, and that's okay. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to make it really easy. There are 4 building blocks of every emotion. We know enough about emotions to be able to define them fairly well. We can talk about being happy or we can talk about being sad because we understood those concepts since we were little. But truly understanding emotion, that can seem a little complicated, especially when you're really pushed to explain it because it's not all black and white. So we're going to simplify this into a logical process that really is factual. So guys, this is how it works, and it's going to be really easy for you afterwards. Every emotion is made up of 4 parts. So let's explore those parts one at a time. The first part is the stimulus. For an emotion to happen, you need something which will inspire it. This can be anything at all. I mean, almost anything. Generally, emotions come from outside sources, though they can arise from your own thoughts and memories as well. You never know what might raise an emotion up to a surface level for you, though. They're always there, but you don't know what's going to bring it out. Could be a smell. In fact, the olfactory sense is actually one of the common things that causes memories and things to come up and triggers emotions. It can be a taste, a memory, a person, a place, or even an activity you're taking part of that will inspire emotions. Even babies will be inspired to emotion through simple things like being hungry, uncomfortable, amused, or even by the smell or sound of whoever's taking care of them. This piece, the stimulus, can be discovered, identified, and understood for perspective and context. The second piece is your awareness. A situation alone won't be enough to inspire emotion. At some point, your mind will become aware of the situation. This can be a conscious or even unconscious thing. We start paying attention, and this stimulus suddenly matters to us in a way that other things around us don't. We may not even understand what the stimulus is when we become aware of it, just that we're starting to have an emotional response to something. Maybe you feel your skin heating up or your eyes getting wider. Maybe you feel a chill, something, right? This piece is outside of your control, your awareness. You have no control over how you become aware of this emotion or emotional response welling up inside of you. The third piece is the judgment. Are you okay with this stimulus? Your unconscious self already knows your likes, your dislikes, your preferences, your history, your past experiences, and is already steering you towards either a positive or negative emotional response. However, your conscious mind can intervene this. This piece can be adjusted, changed, or even manipulated, and it's within your control. Your conscious mind can intervene at this level. The fourth piece of an emotion is the reaction. Your physical self is already figuring out the situation and starting to respond. For example, you may not have noticed a little spider that just scuttled across your hand, but your eyes have probably widened significantly. You may have even felt a chill. You felt a little tickle. This is followed very closely by a physical reaction. In this case, pulling your hand away, and possibly even like a verbal expression like a scream or a shriek, perhaps if you're already afraid of spiders. This piece can be changed or adjusted and is within your control. So what do we do with this information?
How well do you sleep at night? Do you toss and turn and wake up more tired than when you went to bed? Sleep is commonly one of the critical elements people fall short on in their life. The quality of sleep you get directly affects your ability to control your weight, your ability to add muscle, your stress levels, and your everyday job and life performance. If you're ready to move to the next level, then sleep has to be part of the plan. Check out our friends at ghostbed.com if you're ready to get your best sleep. I love my ghost bed. I've been sleeping on one for a couple years and has made a huge difference in how I sleep. Hit ghostbed.com and use the code TheFallibleMan30 to get 30% off your order and start getting better night's sleep tomorrow. Now, let's go on to the show.
We have the building blocks or the process of emotion now. You understand there are 4 essential pieces to every emotion. It doesn't matter if it's happiness, sadness, joy, love. Every emotion you feel involves this 4-pillar process. You can now dissect it and understand the whys and the hows and such of your emotions. This will give you the ability to process them better and more completely. Now that we know the way they work, we can also make adjustments if desired. If you want to change your feeling, start with these 4 building blocks. You'll always have a stimulus, which is likely outside of your control, and your awareness of things is always outside of your control. However, you can stop and identify the stimulus. You may not be able to change it, but you can contextualize it. If you stop and identify what the stimulus is, what triggered this idea, why it has power to affect you, this will give you more information and context to adjust perspective and the way you handle things once you understand where it's coming from and what is the thought behind it. How you feel about that stimulus can be reshaped. Go back to the spider example. If you don't want to be afraid of spiders, you might rehearse a different reaction, starting with a new judgment. Now, I know that's hard. There's a reason we're using the spiders example. While your subconscious is already directing you one way based on the previous inputs and experience, your conscious mind can take control and overrule your subconscious. You tell yourself, spiders aren't scary, and try not to react when you see one. Eventually, you won't feel the fear anymore, but it might move to discomfort because that's part of the process as we're downgrading our response to this. I mean, let's face it, spiders are evil. That's why I'm picking on spiders, because spiders are just evil and the spawn of Satan and horrible little things. But you may actually be able to move from being scared to being uncomfortable to being not even really noticing, just like totally disinterested in what just happened. Or you might even gain a curiosity when you see spiders because they're not a fearful thing anymore because you've moved through this process and reshaped how you react to things. Now, this takes time, but now you have a logical breakdown of how all the emotions happen. And you can work on taking control of those emotions because you have a logical breakdown. And because since we understand the pieces now, as men, that's how our head works. We dissect it, we understand the pieces, we understand what's in our control, what's not in our control, what's changeable, what's not, what caused it, right? Now we can actually mess around with it and understand it and manipulate it, change it, whatever we need to do. Strangely, because you understand how they work and how to work within them, you're also going to become more comfortable expressing them and even sharing them. As G.I. Joe used to tell us, right? Knowing is half the battle. You are now equipped, your brain can now process it and let our brains do that which they're incredibly capable of doing and use this knowledge well to affect how you deal with emotions, how you understand them, how you express them. This is going to give you a lot of power, guys. Now, I've been trying to do this every week, so thank you for the reviews, guys. Reviews keep coming in on my show, and it means so much, and it helps us get in front of more viewers. So thank you for all of you who are taking time to leave us reviews, and I like to read these. Katie Brinkley said, "This is not just for men. I enjoyed listening to this podcast with my husband in the car on a recent road trip. Enjoy the insights and topics discussed and provides insights for both husbands and wives." Katie, thank you for taking the time to share with us, for letting us know how you felt about the podcast. It means the world that you're sharing these things with your husband, and I'm glad that you're benefiting from it too. I try and keep my show where anybody can take the base core of it. Most things are aimed at men, but that's because I wouldn't try and tell women what to do. I try and share with men how we can make ourselves better, because that's the journey I'm on. So thank you for that, Katie. Guys, if you got something out of this and you're looking for someone to work with, to walk alongside with you as you start on your journey, or if you're at a stuck point, check us out at www.thefallibleman.com/coaching. You can set up a discovery call with me there, and we can talk about working together one-on-one directly, so I can help you get past that sticking point and get you on your way. Guys, thanks for taking the time to enjoy the show. Be better tomorrow because of what you do today, and we'll see you on the next one.
This has been the Fallible Man Podcast, your home for everything man, husband, and father. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a show. Head over to www.thefallibleman.com for more content and get your own Fallible Man gear.